Welcome, everyone, to episode 15 of Business Minds podcast. I'm Michael Newman, your host, here with a new guest, Nathan Hanukai. Nice to have
Thank you.
you, Nathan.
Thank you so much for having me and hosting this amazing event.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. So I kind of just want to start off with, what's happening generally in the public. There's so much going on. Like every day, there's more and more news that comes out, whether it's, political related, business related, stock market related. There's just so much information these days, or even the pandemic. So I kind of just want to talk about, marijuana in the real estate industry. I feel like there's, some ties going on recently. So maybe do you know anything about that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I was actually researching that this week. My family's actually looking to invest in some property around Humboldt County. Humboldt County is like kind of like the epicenter of the cannabis industry, like worldwide, like nationwide. This is where it all like started and it's booming right now, in that area, which is a little bit like 100, 200 miles from San Francisco. But the properties there, they're not too expensive. What makes the properties expensive, I've heard, is the licensing for either growing or selling cannabis on that property, and they actually are selling those licenses with some of the properties, which I heard like take up 9/10 of the entire price of the property. Like out of a $2 million home, or sorry, not home, but property, piece of land, the entire license would cost like $1.8 million out of that. So like the land is like cheap, but the licensing is very expensive these days.
Wow, wait, so people are buying plots of land that are growing marijuana legally.
Right, where they intend to start growing marijuana on those
Oh,
properties.
so it's
And
not necessarily already being grown, or it
correct. Correct, right?
could
It's
be,
not.
or it's always empty.
It could be empty. It could have already been there. You could be buying it from someone who has already been growing there and who's been manufacturing there. But it's crazy, and people are like confused whether or not they should invest in these properties because they think that in a few years from now, like even in just a decade from now, that the county or the government is going to release many more licenses. That's going to drive the value of those licenses down from 1.8 million to like a couple $100,000. So people who want to invest in the marijuana industry today, they're really at a tough position because whether or not they want to invest is up to them. But in a decade from now, they could be paying 80% less money for that license and saving millions of dollars on that license. Whereas in like a decade from now, that's going to be the case for the lucky ones who like the big industries. Us little guys who want to get part of this marijuana industry, we have to make some tough decisions if we want to get involved in the cannabis industry.
Yeah. Anyway, just to be clear, all of this is federally and stately legal.
Yeah, it goes down to state. So obviously, marijuana is not yet legal on a federal level.
Oh, right.
They are leaving it up to the states to take care of that. So California is one of 10 states for now, right now, that are legalizing marijuana.
Oh, okay. So I guess we're seeing the benefits of like federalism, how like the DC can't tell every state what to do. California
Exactly.
have weed or marijuana while Texas says it's illegal.
Exactly. And it's not always going to be a good thing, federalism, because we see that abortion is one policy that's not been mandated on a federal level, that they've left it up to the states. And unfortunately, a lot of states are, forgetting about the all regulations of abortion, just letting people do. So it could be a good thing, could be a positive, negative thing.
Because it's so controversial. So then
Exactly.
everyone's just like disagreeing or agreeing with it, and different states have different opinions.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like based on just where you live at this point.
Literally.
Yeah. And do you think that this, marijuana real estate industry is getting more popular and getting more traction now because people are bored during this pandemic and they're finding new things? Like there was Bitcoin, now there's, I don't know, maybe
I
this.
would say hell yeah to it is booming, but no to the fact that it's because people are bored. No one's bored and they go say, "Let me invest in marijuana." They're not gonna. I mean, maybe some weirdos are
Yeah.
doing that,
Yeah.
but this is a real investment. Millions of dollars are at stake, and especially for homeowners like us, regular people who are not billionaires or millionaires, these are tough decisions to make. So yes, it is booming right now, and people are noticing it and jumping in on the action right now.
Right. Okay. Well, this was a great talk, Nathan. I want to thank you for coming today. I'm your host, Michael Newman, here with my guest, Nathan Hanokai. It was great having you.
Thank you so